Melissa is the brand new rigged character from Ace 5 Studios. With a fully functioning face rig, wide variety of clothing, body morphs, motion capture support, and stack textures for easy customization. But wait, there's more. More jump, more dance, tongue thing. This is Melissa rigged in Cinema 4D. Hey, I'm Alexei from Ace 5 Studios, and that was Melissa. It's our new rigged character. Now we're going to jump into cinema and have a look at her in a bit more detail. Okay, so the zip file we download will have two Cinema 4D files, one for Octane, one for standard render. It'll have a Melissa FBX file which you upload to Meximo for doing mocap animation, and a texture folder, and some other links and stuff. So this is a standard file. If you don't like this thing, just click here and just hide it. So let's go start with the face. We have our eye controls here. The yellow one controls two eyes at the same time. You can reset PSR, which is here in this one, reset transform. I think the shortcut is F6 in the new version, but you can set your own shortcut. Everything you can reset back to its default position by hitting this reset transform. So you move it, you hit reset transform, and it's back where it was. You have individual little eye controls here, which you can use. Also, if you find yourself clicking accidentally on the mesh, just go to layers and lock the mesh layer so you don't accidentally click on it. Furthermore, we have our eyebrows here, eyebrow controllers. We can close the eyes with this thing. We can also close the eyes on this side. And also rotate them slightly left and right, so you have more control that way. The nose has a little wiggle on it, which from the side can start looking very odd if you push it too far. Next, we have our mouth controllers. So we have our smiles. Don't pull the smiles too far out because it does get a bit wonky, but you know, realistically, you want a smile, which is somewhere here. You can open the mouth like so. This controller controls the whole mouth moving up and down. Also a bit weird if you push it too far. The controllers here, we also have, this one will lift the lip up and down, but you can also use it if you move it left and right, you get this bit of a sneering. Set this back to, these back to default. You can see this one gives this kind of sneering effect. The control at the bottom moves the bottom lip up and down. And if you move it left and right, it'll roll the lip up or very far down. So that's its purpose there. What else do we have? And we have the tongue control here. So if you open the mouth up, you have these two controls, which this one moves the tongue in and out, and this one will let you wiggle it up and down. As you notice here, you also have this wavy time controller, which if you don't push it up too far, let's reset this one back to the bottom and pull it out a bit. Maybe this one also should be straight up and maybe a bit down. There you go. Maybe too much wavy time there. Maybe something like this. There you go. So if you want, you can also make the tongue do this. I don't know why you'd want it, but I thought it'd be fun. So let's put the tongue back in the mouth by just resetting the PSR. The waviness, by the way, works when you press play. It doesn't work if you don't press play. Next, we have the hair here. The default hair, it's locked because I locked the mesh layer, but if you unlock it, when you click on the hair, you have this controller here so you can change its shape. This is just for this one. Once you click on the hair, if you put your mouse into the object manager and press the S key, assuming you're in a relatively new version of Cinema 4D, you can scroll straight down to where all the hairs are. They're going to be in this thing called Melissa Rig Head Stuff. And you can hide this Melissa hair that we have here, and you can display, for example, the ponytail hair. And we also have a couple of where it's hairs with caps and a hair with a beret. You can also add your own hair if you download a model yourself. There's no problem. There's also some glasses in here which you can also enable. You might want to move the glasses further out a bit with this hairstyle. There you go. So you have this under your disposal as well. You can also change the hair color the eye color quite easily. There's a bunch of customization. So the eye color is changed easily because you just go into materials, you go here standard materials, and you find the eye color, this one, here you go. And you can change this and you'll see it affects it. You can make it blue, green, whatever color you want. You have full control there. And the last thing, but the texture on Melissa here, the thing is I have a stack texture. So if you scroll over here, you can see that you have a Melissa skin base, and then you have this nails, which goes on the nails of it. That's pretty easy. But the point is that then next you have lips, And you can just change the lip color right here to anything you want. And here, then the next one, freckles, double click on that. And you can also change the freckle color. So as you can see, they changed there in the viewport. And the last one, you have this eyeliner, which you can also change the color of. It's the thing around here. So you can change it to any color you want. If you want to make it less obvious, just change the skin color. You can also just delete this material and it'll just delete it altogether. Now, this is the Octane version of Melissa. It has a similar system, but it has these two materials, which, as you can see, there's a combo material, which is just baked. It's a PSD file, which you can open. It'll be in the text folder. And this is a node file. So just make sure the node file is on top if you want to modify it with nodes, and then double click on it, then go basic, node editor here, and you will get this node editor with all the textures in here. And you can see you have lip color, eyeliner, freckles, and skin color here. So it's really the same situation. Just open your live viewer so you can see how it looks. There you go. You can change the skin color to make it orange or blue or whatever you want. And you got lips here, so you can make them much redder or green or whatever color you want. Yeah, or if you want, you can open the PSD file in Photoshop and modify the layers there. They're all named as well. Okay, so next, let's go have a look at our body controllers, because we actually have some body modification controls that we have as well. If you click on this little green controller here, you can, if you want, you can make the breasts a bit smaller. If they're too excessive for your likings, you can also make the waist wider. And it also has a pregnant slider in case you need that for any animation you're working on. So there's a bit of variety there for you. The controls, as usual, they have IK and FK, but by default, I've locked the FK controls because I realized some people accidentally select them and move them. So right now it's in IK mode. So you can move them as usual. You select these controllers. You can use this pyramid to control the elbow rotation. Let's reset these back to 0 with the reset transform button. Now, on this hand controller, if you want to use FK, you switch it to FK. And then you have their FK controllers. But these guys are locked right now. So you have to go to layers and you have to unlock your FK controllers. And now you can use them as usual. Because the problem is if they're unlocked and we turn on IK here, sometimes people will accidentally grab this and move it and it'll go not well. Or they'll grab this instead of the box controller. So unless you're animating with FK, I just have them locked so they don't bother users. So they just lock icon. And then you can't select these guys. We have the foot. Yeah, same thing on the foot. We have your heel rotate, ball rotate, toe wiggle, and the IKFK slider, which works exactly the same way as it works on the hands. Now here we also have our main controller, which this one controls the top body part. We can rotate it, but we also, inside the hip here, we have a smaller controller, which we can use for wiggling the waist. Also useful for wiggling from behind. Now, we also have these two kind of buttock controllers, which, yeah, basically they just rotate them there. Sometimes you need them. Most of the time you can get away with it without using them, but sometimes you have certain poses where that is useful. For example, when you move the legs, sometimes if you move it too far, you'll get this kind of, so then you just rotate it out. And there you go, it's nice and smooth. So it's just a little corrective controller, which sometimes you need to use. Yeah. Let's reset these guys to the default location. Again, I'm just using a reset transform shortcut on my keyboard. So this one, if you want to just reset all the controllers, if you have your controllers, you have these rotated out and you don't know which ones are modified, you just middle click on Melissa controllers and then go reset transform. The face controls work in the same way. So if you have your face controls here all moved up in different directions and you want to just reset them all up to wherever they were, just middle click on the Melissa face rig stuff here and go reset transform. Everything goes back to where it was. Okay, next we also have these selection sets, which are pretty handy. Here's this little null here, and inside you can go Melissa keyframe IK, double click on the icon. It'll select all the controllers that you need a keyframe for IK. If you select Melissa hips plus IK legs, then you can move the hips and the legs together and you can rotate them. Well, when you rotate, make sure you have this per object transform turned off. You want to rotate them together. So this makes it a bit easier to set up. You also have Melissa IK hands. So just selecting these guys, her hips and her hands together, if you need to move them during animation. And you have hips plus IK. You also have the right finger here selection. So if you select all of these, and in your rotate tool, make sure this time this thing is turned on. And then when you use the green axis, you can just curl all the fingers very quickly. and just reset transform to put them back. And the same thing for the left fingers here. And they're nicely color coded so you can know which ones you're selecting. Melissa SDS is a pretty easy thing as well, useful. If you double click on it, it'll select all the subdivision surface objects, and you can just go basic and just turn them all off, and everything will work a lot smoother in the animation. See, much faster response during animation. So let's turn them back on. And the closed surfaces also, if you want to disable the surface objects. Next, we have the hand and head stuff, basically. If you want to ever parent something to Melissa that she's holding, so let's say we have a cube, and we move it here, and we put it here, basically just put it into the pink hand, Melissa left hand stuff, and then whenever the hand moves, the cube will now move with it, so it's very handy. And in the same way, we have the head stuff, so if you want, you can make her, if you want, you can make her a hat. This is a very sophisticated hat. And you can place it into the head stuff. And now whenever her head moves, everything will move together with her head. And this is a good time to talk about her clothes. Let's delete this beautiful hat we made. If you click on the clothes, assuming your mesh layer isn't locked, and then you hit the S key, you will go down to the clothes section. And here we have bottoms, tops, and one piece like overalls and stuff. And we also have some gloves and the shoe section. So we can select this one, this top red, and we can hide it. We can display this sweater here. If you have any issues that are not sticking to the body for some reason, if maybe you modified something, or if you modified the sweater, like you can grab any of these and you can get the collar, for example, here. Disable the surface object, and we can grab, for example, double click this edge here, and we can move it up, and we can have a higher collar if you need it for some reason, or whatever it is. And then just go to surface and go to object and click initialize. Make sure the Melissa mesh is in here and turn it back on. And now you have this color working with the model. So you can modify these clothes for things you need quite easily. And there's obviously a lot of clothes. Just check the website for a screenshot of all the different variations. We also have gloves here. Okay, and an important thing, once you select your outfit and you're happy with it for your animation project or whatever it is, I recommend like saving the file with a new file name, so it's for your project, and deleting all the clothes you don't use. So the easiest way is just to get the ones that are unhidden. So it's long pants and sweater with collar, and just drag it out to Melissa clothes. And then just delete the bottoms null and the tops null, and you'll notice the performance of your rig will improve significantly. And there is mockup support here. Just open the joint section here, and the top joints, just select this constraint, right click, select all children, same type. There's a full tutorial on this, so I'm just going to quickly show it to you here. Disable it, and then go to this pose morph, click enable, and switch to, there you go. And you have mocap working, so it's pretty simple. There will be a full tutorial on it. But the functionality is there. You can load mix ammo and all kinds of other stuff into it. So this is Melissa, fully rigged in Cinema 4D. If you have any other questions, write in the comments below or email me through my website, and I'll be happy to help. And don't forget to check out ace5studios.com for more character rigs and character building kits. We have here Mia, Celeste, Marty, Meldon. We have character building kits, which you can put together your own characters with already rigged parts in Cinema 4D. We have the 5K pack, we have the older 5J pack, kids. There's some animals from Maria. We've got the hats and stuff asset pack, 5-man, and so on and so forth. Have a good one.